Aloha everybody, it is I, the Great Clement, and today we're going to be looking at a pinball game for the Game Boy Advance. This is Sonic Pinball Party, and I know what you're thinking, is it anything like Sonic Spinball? Well, it stars Sonic, and it's a pinball game, but it's not quite on the same level. Basically, it's just a handheld pinball device, really. I mean, whereas Sonic Spinball was all about platforming and actual objectives, like you had to get to all the Chaos Emeralds, then beat the boss at the end. It had a very unique design style. It had a very unique, go from level to level kind of design. And I thought Sonic Spinball, it was a pinball game, but it was actually more of an adventure than you would expect, you know? Sonic Pinball Party really isn't an adventure. It has a story mode, technically, yes. And the story mode's really stupid. Basically, Dr. Eggman holds a pinball tournament at Casinoopolis. And for some reason, if Sonic cannot defeat Dr. Eggman, he will enslave animals and turn them into robots. I don't know how winning a pinball tournament has to do with it. I don't know how the story works. It makes no sense to me, honestly. I've seen it from beginning to end. Spoilers, when Sonic beats Eggman, he loses. And the world is saved yet again. Go figure. The story mode isn't really an adventure, though. It's just like, they put you on the Sonic board, and there are like 3 boards in the game. And they put you on the Sonic board, and you have like certain objectives. Like, the first battle you come up against is against Knuckles in the egg tournament thing. And Knuckles, he gives you like an ultimatum, like, you gotta get 10 million points in under 5 minutes in order to beat me. So you have to get 10 million points in 5 minutes, and then your next opponent, Tails, will be like, okay, you have to get 15 million points in 5 minutes. And then you have like this one battle with Metal Sonic that goes overly way too fucking long, and he has like all these different objectives, and you're pretty much just playing in the Sonic board, though. I mean, there is the occasional chance you'll go into the Knights board on in story mode, which I actually have to admit, because there's not just the Sonic board. There are 3 boards in the game. There's the Sonic board, there's the Knights board, and there's the Samba de Amigo board. Knights and Samba de Amigo are 2 other Sega franchises that are tagging along in this adventure, or at least in this game. In the story mode, you'll see, like, Knights and Wiseman and Riala and such on, like, the tournament leaderboard thing. But because the story mode is scripted, you never actually fight them. It's always the same battles, no matter how poorly or great you do in the pinball activities themselves. And, yeah, what's there to say about Sonic Pinball Party, honestly, guys? I don't want to play through the story mode, because, honestly, I just suck at this game. The only way I finished this game, the only way I got to see the end of the story was by save-stating on an emulator, because I'm just not good at pinball. The things they need you to do in order to achieve the high scores, I always have trouble doing. For example, in order to get high scores throughout the Sonic board, what you really want to do is constantly summon Eggman onto the board so that you can knock the pinball into him, and that's like a 3-action thing. First you have to collect the egg letters by moving the ball in certain spots. Then you have to shoot the ball in the top right corner so that Eggman comes onto the scene. And then you have to knock the ball into Eggman himself, and you have to do this without dying, or without losing a ball, I should say. And that's very tricky stuff. I rarely have the ability to do stuff like that in any pinball game, and even more so in Sonic Pinball Party. I mean, if you're a big pinball fanatic, you'll probably like this game a lot, but you know, to me, I thought it doesn't hold a candle to Sonic Spinball. Spinball was its own cool thing, which had an adventure and awesome music and level designs, and everything was fresh every time you went to a new board. Sonic Pinball Party is just a handheld pinball thing, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. Again, if you like pinball, you're gonna like this game, but yeah. So there's really 3 boards. There's just the Sonic board, the Knights board, and the Samba de Amigo board. Even in story mode, even though the Sonic board will change themes every now and then, and it uses all the themes from Sonic Advance, by the way, but it'll be like Neo Green Hill at first, and then you go on to the Tails fight, and now you're like in Casino Paradise board. And depending on what you do in the actual pinball board itself, you can actually warp to other zones, and then it'll be like ice, or a cold mountain, and Chaotic Angel or Cosmic Angel. They're all Sonic Advance themes, but the layout of the actual board itself does not change. Just because the theme changes, just because it's now casino flavored or snow flavored or whatever, it's still the same layout and it's still the same loops and stuff, so you're gonna get used to the Sonic board throughout the story mode, believe me. This game does have extra stuff. It has like multiplayer games, none of which I can play because of the GBA and how you need another GBA to play multiplayer and stuff. This is pretty much why I couldn't show off multiplayer in Sonic Advance 1 and Advance 2, but or Advance 3. But yeah, so they have Cable Link multiplayer, which has these various minigames that I've never seen. And there's also stuff like Roulette, where you can go visit Cream and bet on things to earn more rings, which gets you something? I don't know. Again, I'm not deeply into this game. I don't know every facet or every detail of this thing. It's not like I play it all that much. I played it once and never again, and I'm only looking at it now because, well, I'm showing the Sonic series, and I figured I'd show off that the Game Boy Advance had a Sonic pinball game. He also shared the spotlight with Knights and Samba de Amigo, although they're not in the story mode. And yeah, it's just a pinball game, really. Not much to say about it. So I guess I'll leave you guys with two songs that are of interest in this game. Basically, in some boards, in some of the Sonic boards, when you actually defeat Dr. Eggman on the board by shooting the ball into his hole, that sounded dirty. But after you've shot the ball into Eggman's hole, a certain song plays that will be very familiar to you guys. And just looking through the sound test, I even discovered another gem that I figure everyone should listen to. These are two songs from Sonic R and Sonic Adventure in 16-bit on the GBA, or 32-bit. I'm not sure how many bits it is, but so yeah, get ready to listen to that. But anywho, folks, the next game in the lineup, the next game in the Sonic series, get ready, because next we're going to be playing Sonic Heroes. So enjoy these two songs, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Great Clement. Yeah, bye.